Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up.
Good Thursday morning.
I hated that. I hate it.
But you don't like the pep in my step?
I know.
All right, fair enough. It's Thursday, which is our Friday, which is awesome, and we're celebrating that. And it's Run It Back. My name is Michelle Beadle. That is Chandler Parsons. That is Lou Williams. And joining us from his abode is Stadium Insider Shams Charania. And guys, once again, the West Coast game started off, ended up, wow. And last night it happened to be Lakers and Clippers. Yep, Lakers defeat the Clippers. It took overtime, 130-125. LeBron James, 35 points, 13 of 19 from the field. Anthony Davis had 48 minutes, 27 points, 10 rebounds, and Kawhi with 38. He was 15 of 28. Look, we'll say it a gazillion times when it's all said and done, Shams, but it's his 21st season. Just paint us a picture with words of what you see when you see LeBron James still play like this.
I just think about longevity. I think about a guy that, I mean, you have to love the game to a high degree to be able to continue to play at this level, this late in your career. At the age of 38, he's the oldest player in the league. Usually that spot is reserved for a guy that's at the end of the bench, a guy that you're doing really just, you know, you're honoring him and maybe the last year of his career. Maybe he's got 2 years left and you're honoring him around the league. But this is a guy that's playing at such a high level. And for me, it shows, yes, you have love of the game, but there's guys at this point that either lose focus, there's age, there's injury, and he hasn't had that affect him to much of a capacity. And this is someone who has, you know, a minutes limit to start the year. He played under 30 minutes in the season opener in Denver. He had a torn tendon injury at the end of last season, second half of the year. They still need to monitor that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he misses time moving forward at different points, maybe a game here or there. But this is someone in the last 4 games, 35 minutes, 39 minutes, 33 minutes, and then last night, 42 minutes, averaging 25, 9, and 7 on 57% shooting. He's going to get to 40,000 points. I don't know if we've never seen this. I don't know if we ever will. But just to me, it's just all about longevity with him.
It's kind of crazy. Like that minutes restriction lasted until that first game when he looked at his coach and was like, no.
And those highlights are insane.
Like, what is that?
Nothing has changed in his game with his stamina, his strength, the things he was doing last night where he lost his shoe, put it on, and then just outright sprinted and did one of his patent Bronny dunks. It's insane what he's doing, and we're all literally just watching greatness every single night. And for him to be doing this at this stage of his life and his career, it really is mind-blowing.
Of all time.
It's crazy.
The greatest of all time. Give him his flowers.
Whoa.
I
Don't
agree.
do it. I
said
can't do it on a
I'm
Thursday
standing
morning.
on it.
I agree.
I don't have that.
I like
40,000
Michael
points.
Jordan more,
we
but
really
I think
love
he's
Michael
the greatest player
Jordan.
of all time.
The point is the game should evolve, and we are in a place where we are witnessing the guy that's going to go get 40,000 points in our lifetime.
I think I'll ever say that with my mouth, though, those words. I don't think
You
I will.
know, no
Yeah,
shot.
I don't think I can. I physically can't do it. But you're right. Maybe that's it. Maybe you like Michael Jordan more.
I do. He's my
Fair.
childhood. He's my guy. But you can't look past what this guy's doing.
That is a crazy little highlight package that was put together from last night, I do have to say. So the other part of this thing is, and I think it's funny because we talk about him in breaks as well, is the Anthony Davis of it all. I mean, he's very polarizing when you talk about the NBA. But last night he had 27 and 10 in 48 minutes, and he was pretty damn good on defense as well. Where do we put Anthony Davis? How do we talk about AD?
Well, he's critical to this team, and he's showing that. And it just comes with the territory of him getting criticized no matter what he's doing. You look at his stats for the beginning of the season, he's dominating. He's playing at an all-NBA level, but still we want more. We want him to close games. We want him to be more aggressive. Darvin Ham's saying he wants him to shoot more threes. So think about how productive he's being right now. 48 minutes,
Look,
zero.
His bag is to the basket.
Yeah, back to the basket, aggressive. 48 minutes, 0 turnovers, just aggressive, getting to the free throw line, making his free throws. He's doing a little bit of everything. And like you said, he's just as valuable on the defensive end. I think he had 4 blocked shots, and then he might have even altered 4 more, didn't get a piece of it. But he is so important to this team. And listen, again, it comes with the territory. He's going to get criticized because he's so talented. We know how good he can be. But he's being pretty good, so maybe we should just pipe down a little bit.
Whoa. Pipe down? You? How?
No,
Lou,
not me. I'm saying the other national media.
You've been hard on him, too.
Yeah.
I think everyone's been hard on him, but it changes from game to game. So I don't know that we're being unfair. Just we never know what to expect.
We just would like to see him aggressive.
Yeah.
And like I just mentioned, seeing him with his back to the basket, that's a difference maker. You force teams to slow down and pay attention to you. On a three-point line, I had a coach that always used to tell me, hey, at the three-point line, everybody's the same size.
Yeah.
And so when he plays out there, that gives you that mindset of, I can guard you out here. But when you go back to basket and the smaller guys there, you force everybody to pay attention to you. I just would like his presence to be felt more.
And you know why we're not criticizing him today?
Why?
Because they won. So that cures everything. So when they win games and when they close games, this shouldn't have been a game. First of all, they were getting blown out.
Yep.
Then they came back, which I respect majorly. But they had a chance to close it out in regulation, and they didn't. So I think that's why we have this level of concern of why what's he waiting for? But he got it done last night. He's got it done pretty much every game this season.
Yeah, so far so good. Maybe we should pipe down, and then we would have no show, Chandler.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell, don't look now, back-to-back games, doing quite well for himself. 28 points, 27 last night. If he stays this way, I'm doing it. Is this team a contender?
No.
And we're done.
No, and I say that because it's so many other teams
Fair.
that have I think just better rosters. But I've learned to never second guess LeBron James led teams.
Yeah.
But I just think he can be the third best player on his team just by being solid, playing within himself and not taking a bunch of chances, turning the ball over, shooting forced shots, and just putting himself in a position where he looks crazy on the floor. And I think now he's playing on balance. He's taking his time, making wide open shots. Look, he's easy money, just by him not trying to do too much. So I think he gives himself an opportunity when he just plays on balance and plays solid.
Yeah, and D'Lo plays like he's just playing at the park. He's fearless. He's carefree. He's just out there hooping. And honestly, this Lakers team they're pretty deep and they're pretty balanced. Look at the contributions last night. Christian Wood had a huge impact on this game. Cam Reddish, last minute, gets thrown to the starting lineup. He ended up playing solid defense on Kawhi on some possessions. He still got going early on, but Cam was valuable. Christian Wood was valuable. Austin Reeves, I'd love to see him kind of get out of his comfort zone last night, hit some shots, made some big plays, but he's also got to be better. He had 5 turnovers in the first half, and I don't want his offense to affect his other game. He's so valuable in other aspects. He can still run the offense. He can still cut. He can still run the floor. He can still do all those little things when his shot isn't falling, and he started doing that more towards the end of the game, getting to his pull-up, and made some big buckets for them.
We want to switch gears to the Clippers now. Kawhi is 2 years removed from the injury, and it's funny because I've heard it already in these few short games to start the season off. Man, I forgot how much fun it is to watch Kawhi Leonard play basketball, and I feel the exact same way. He had 38 last night. I know we can't go back in time and we're all getting older and all that good stuff, but can we see that version of Kawhi, or at least as close as humanly possible?
Yeah, we saw it last night.
Yeah,
and you know what's great? He doesn't have to be this guy every night. He's got a Paul George. He's now got a Russell Westbrook playing at a high level. He's got James Harden. So he's got this team. Norman Powell can go and get you 30. He's got these teams that can carry the load offensively. So we don't have to have Kawhi doing this, but he looks great. In the beginning of that game, he was aggressive. He struggled the game before. He came out, I think he was 7 for 8, 5 for 5 from the 3. He got to the paint. He used his mid-range game. He did a little bit of everything. This looked like vintage Kawhi. And so, yeah, he continued to play like this. He continues to be healthy. He's a top 10 player all day long in the league.
And what I love seeing last night was, even though they fell short, he was chasing the ball. He wanted to make those plays down the stretch. He wanted the ball in his hands. He wasn't deferring to anybody else. He was like, yo, I'm one of the best players in the league, and I want this basketball in crunch time situations, and that's the way he was playing.
I love when we're 4 or 5 games into a season, because now we're like, are they contenders?
Yeah,
we get to do this for at least a couple more weeks until they start to separate themselves. So Clippers or Lakers right now, who's got the higher ceiling?
I still like the Clippers.
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. We got to see how the adjustment period with James Harden and how that works out. But right now, as it stands, I know they just lost last night. They broke the streak of the games. But I think the Clippers have more talent. I think they have a deeper roster. I think they have a lot of different ways they can hurt you offensively. They're a great, versatile defensive lineup. I think I got to give them the edge.
Well, Russ did have 24, 11, and 8. Lou, you're the guy that's leading the charge on he should keep starting. Do you think that was the last one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. You just replace Bones Highland, and you leave that group together. Listen, why would he come off the bench? Again, we keep talking like he's the odd guy out. 24, 11, and 8. I want that guy in my starting lineup. I don't care who you are.
If he can give you that in that starting lineup.
He definitely can't give it to you off the bench.
You don't think so? What if he plays the same amount of minutes?
No, how?
Because I think he's still going to finish games. I think he'll still be in that lineup at the end where they'll go small. They'll play all 4 of those guys.
So I say we start like that. You know,
I think they will
we're gonna,
start like that.
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah, if we're gonna finish games with that group, we might as well get out to a great start, rhythm.
And you can't start off this project of James Harden with pissing off Russell
Right.
Westbrook. You know what I mean? He's been so valuable all year
Pissing
long.
off any of them.
You can't piss off any of them. So make him happy. Start all 4 of them. Let it not work.
I agree.
Right.
And then
If it
adapt
ain't
and
broke,
adjust. Yeah.
just try to. But
That's not the
Listen,
play.
no, if it ain't broke, add this giant disruptive piece in, and then see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, lucky for them, they got this trade done early in the season. You know, we're 4 games in, so, you know, they can kind of tinker with lineups and see what works best for them. But I think to start the season, they definitely start with all 4 of those guys in Zubac.
I actually am weirdly excited to see this.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a
I care more about the
morbid-
starting lineup than the actual game they're going to play.
I know, morbid curiosity. That's going to be fun for everyone. We had another game on the West Coast, the Kings and the Warriors. Well, Warriors defeat the Kings. This one was close, 102-101. Clay's game winner is the big story of the night. Steph did have his 21 and 5, but Clay had 14, and the 2 are the big ones. He missed the last game, had the knee soreness, and then he has the game winner last night. So, I mean, he's playing also for pride and a contract and all the good stuff that goes along with it to make them serious contenders. How big a deal is he?
Oh, he's huge, and he's got to continue to make shots. He's got to continue to be that two-way player he was before the injuries. And last night was funny. You're sitting there watching at the end of this game. They're double-teaming Steph, as they should. But when you do that, you're leaving the second greatest shooter of all time an opportunity to go and get a bucket. And he hit a tough shot, and Mitchell played great defense. He hit a long 2 mid-range step back for the game. This isn't an easy shot. He contested it. Even Murray came from weak side and contested it. So this is just what he does. He's a great player. He's a great shooter. He makes big-time plays. And this is a reminder, like, yeah, you want to leave, you want to go double Steph? I'm right here, and I'm capable of still knocking down these shots.
It's disrespectful. It was nice to see that actually happen. Biggest X factor for you on that Golden State team?
I would have to say Andrew Wiggins. He's going to have to be the 3rd best player, but he's going to have to play just slightly better, averaging 11.5 on the season right now. He's one of those guys that can kind of get lost in the mix, but he's a silent assassin. When he plays at a high clip, gives them 17 to 20 points a game, he always gives them an opportunity to win basketball games. So give me Andrew Wiggins. You know what you're going to get out of Steph. Know what you're going to get out of Clay. He has to be one of those guys that's consistent, at least over 17 points a game.
And when they made that last championship run, he was the second best player on the team. He was the guy. And when you look at the defense the Golden State Warriors played last night, 3 of the 4 quarters, they held them in the 20s in scoring. That's how they have to continue to win games. They have to lock in on that. Guys like Andrew Wiggins are versatile defenders. Draymond is obviously great at that. Chris Paul can still defend. So they have Steph, they have Clay, they have guys that can score. But they're going to win games by defending, and they did that last night. Holding a team to 101 points is tough to do these days.
Yeah, these days, it's crazy. Shams, on the King side of things, the De'Aaron Fox injury, he's going to miss some time. You reported that. What is the latest? How much time are we looking at?
Yeah, it's a moderate ankle sprain. I mean, it's worse than a grade 1, but this is a guy, De'Aaron Fox, who played through a fractured finger in the playoffs last year. He's clearly got a high pain threshold. So he missed last night's game. He's really right now day-to-day, Michelle. And I'm told he could play as soon as Saturday in Houston or Monday in Houston. They have 2 straight games in Houston where De'Aaron Fox is from. And so he's a quick healer. This is an early part of the season. But look for De'Aaron Fox to potentially return within a week of this injury, which was worse than a grade 1. But last night, the Kings, you have to give them credit for how competitive they kept that game. Malik Monk having the ball in his hands throughout the game. I think obviously he's shown, whether he starts, comes off the bench, he can play at a high level on the ball. But for them to keep it competitive without De'Aaron Fox, I think is a positive sign. But shout out Clay and his game winner.
He's a quick healer. I hope Paul Pierce doesn't have anything to say about if he's healing faster than they did or not. Domantas Sabonis, he had the big extension in the offseason. And then last night, of course, he doesn't have his teammate out there, so he steps it up. Number 2 guys, as far as they go, is he a legit one? Do you need someone else?
I can even make the case that he's the number 1 guy.
There you go.
You know, he's a 3-time All-Star, led the league in rebounding last year. And when De'Aaron Fox was missing a lot of time, he was the guy that was anchoring that team and keeping them competitive. So I think he's absolutely a legit number 2 guy.
Yeah, if you look at the way he plays, too, he's a little baby Jokic. He can do it all. He passes the ball. He's basically a center that plays point guard. He can get a defensive rebound. He can bring it up. He can get guys involved. He can score. He's strong as hell. The guy can move his bodies down there. He rebounds. He can do it all. I just think for them to actually take that next step, if he's 1, 2, 3 option, whatever, the other 2 or 3 guys have to be legit. They have to also be stars because him and Fox are great. They're a great young duo. I think they're going to continue to get better. They're just kind of missing one more guy.
Keegan Murray can be that guy.
could.
I think he's still young, still trying to find his footing in the league, but I think he can be that 3rd option.
You just want to add someone else altogether? Or?
Well, listen, again, I love Keegan. I love Murray. I think he's great. I think Kevin Huerter is a great role player. I just think they are one actual star piece away from contending with these other teams.
You don't see it in Murray being a star?
I do, but he's not right now. So, like, this season,
for
I
sure.
don't think they're contenders. I don't
Right.
think he's going to be that guy that can carry an onus, can go get you 25 in a playoff game. I think he's solid. He makes shots. He defends. But, no, right now, I don't think he's a 3rd option on a championship team unless 1 and 2 are, someone else.
Not yet. Pelicans Thunder. Flipping around last night, I think at one point Pelicans were down a bunch, and then they end up beating OKC 110-106. It was the biggest comeback win in NBA so far this season. 22 points. McCollum 29 and 11. Zion 20-10 and 8. SGA finished with 25 and 8. And they look down by 22. At one point, they missed 19 consecutive threes, and somehow they still managed to win this game. First of all, watching a team miss 19 consecutive threes is like a weird fever dream. Who does this say more about, Pelicans or the Thunder?
I think the Pelicans. It shows you they can still go on the road, win a game against a very talented team with not shooting the ball great. And the rookie Jordan Hawkins, who I love from UConn, he was, I think, 1 for 8 in the first quarter, 2 for 13 from 3. He took 19 shots. They were all good shots. So I think they were just taking what the defense gave them. I think Zion was just relentless on the glass. It's almost like this dude misses shots on purpose just to go get it. And
Moses Malone style.
Oh, God, he's so strong. It's unbelievable. But, yeah, they took great shots, and then they had C.J. McCollum basically took over that game late in the 4th quarter. But this was both of these games, this game and the Laker game, one team was running away with it. The other team was running. These were great playoff atmospheric games, but I think this shows the Pelicans, when they get their full roster and they get fully healthy, they're also a very, very tough team.
Yeah, you cannot, there's no lead that's safe enough. I think that's been said a gazillion times about it. Have you been parts of comebacks that big, 20-plus points?
I'm sure.
You play long enough, you're on both sides of it.
But what is it like? Do you ever get down? Because when we're watching as fans, we're like, man, I don't know. I don't think they can do it. But it doesn't ever seem like it's out of reach.
No, I feel like you always think there's hope, right? You can always come back. You're always at timeouts. You're always rallying the troops. You're always sticking with it. But it's tough because teams catch fire. You feel like you can't make any shots. Things just aren't going your way. The whistle's not going your way. So I'm sure there's games that we were a part of. I don't remember something like this, but I'm sure there was.
Off the top of my head, we were down 35 in the playoffs to the Golden State Warriors, and came back and won that game. And I had a major part in that, I will say. But I think when you down 20. And you're in the locker room at halftime, or you're in that huddle, you're thinking just to manage the game. Try to get it down to 12 by the next timeout. Try to get it to 6 by the next timeout. And you just try to chip away, and give yourself an opportunity to win the game.
35? That's
a big
tough.
comeback.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
It's hard not to hang your head when you're down.
I was going to say, that's hard
points.
not
Well,
to
house
just-
money at that point.
Yeah.
You're playing free, you're playing loose. What else do you have to lose?
I guess that's a good point as well. Look, everyone rightfully so talks about Zion Williamson for a variety of reasons. But last night, it was really the C.J. McCollum story. To have a guy like C.J. on your team, first of all, is he underrated at this point, or do we just focus so much on Zion that that's kind of it?
Which it's kind of crazy because I was today years old. I realized that C.J. McCollum has never made an All-Star team.
It's crazy.
I didn't know that. So that makes him underrated to me. And then on the flip side, it's hard to be underrated when you're a $100 million guy.
That's fair, too.
And having so much success next to Dame and having so much success in New Orleans in his career. But definitely underrated. One of those guys that kind of goes under the radar but always does his thing.
It is crazy to think he's never made an All-Star appearance with those runs in Portland, but Yeah, especially with Brandon Ingram out last night. Look, he took over, and he's such a good fit
So
with
smooth,
Zion,
man.
right? He's that scoring, almost point guard. He can get to his spots. He can stretch the defense. He can still make the extra pass. He's a great fit, and he's one of those guys that you can just give the ball, and he can go ISO. He can go get a bucket. He can close a game out. That's exactly what he did. And on the flip side, the Thunder, they got this lead by playing the right way. I was watching them. Every time Giddey would drive, 3 guys would cut. 1 guy would get back. They were moving without the ball. They were going back door. They stopped doing that once they got the lead. And I think that just kind of shows their youth and it shows their progression as the season goes on. But they looked tough to beat in the first quarter. And then for whatever reason, I hate when teams go away from what works. And they did that last night.
Why does that happen? Is that
I
a
think
mental
you just
thing?
get comfortable.
Complacent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
yes,
you let your guard down. You get comfortable. You think it's easy. Then all of a sudden the team makes defensive adjustments. Not so easy. So then the guys think they got to go get theirs. Then you don't touch the ball for a few possessions, and you want to go get your shot up. So I think it's a combination of things. But man, they were playing beautiful basketball in that first quarter, and then for whatever reason just kind of shied away from that.
Look, you don't have to be new to basketball. You realize Zion Williamson healthy is a completely different animal. This team is a completely different entity. So that being said, if he were to stay healthy all season long, where would you put this Pelicans team in this conference? I'm not going to say contender, but just where?
I mean, a tough first-round matchup for whoever they get, and that's expecting Ingram healthy,
Sure.
McCollum healthy, get the little Alvarado guy
Like in a
back.
the little Alvarado
I'm saying
guy.
get him back. He had great playoffs last year. A full
Alvarado guy.
roster. They're a tough beat in the first round, but I mean, look, the West is stacked.
Yeah, it really is.
Because they haven't had a lot of major success, it goes unnoticed that they've had so many injury issues.
Yeah.
So I think for them, the main thing is just staying healthy. And like Chandler mentioned, they're going to give somebody hell in the first round of a playoff run. But I can see this team in the middle of the pack.
Okay. All right. That's something. Yeah, see, I didn't say contender. You didn't get me on that
You
one.
wanted.
Thank you.
I mean, I just want to ask if is
everybody's
everybody a contender?
yeah.
Who's not? The third member that we've been talking about, Brandon Ingram, his injury update. When can we expect him to return, Shams? Do we have anything on BI?
He's day to day right now. He had an MRI. It appeared to be clean, and last night there was discomfort. He sat out. And so, yeah, like Chandler said, the Pelicans need Brandon Ingram healthy. And if they have those 3 guys healthy and they're all playing all season, I think this is a team that can compete for definitely a playoff spot and then be a tough out in the first round. They were home court advantage team last year before Zion Williamson had the hamstring injury. But I think another thing about Zion Williamson, even though he hasn't played a ton of games the last couple of years, you see the evolution in his game. And I think you saw it last year. He played a lot on the ball. Even when C.J. McCollum was out last night, 8 assists. This is a guy that I think wants to play more on the ball, wants to facilitate more. This is a guy that I think can compete for triple-doubles on a nightly basis, if he's able to stay healthy and he's able to play that point-forward role.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
No, listen, he's got game, and he's, again, just another threat that they can add to that scoring guard, to the dominant force in Zion. He's that versatile wing that, again, can go and get you a bucket, can get to the rim, can get to the free throw line. So they go as far as he goes, and then it's all about the health of those 2 guys.
Okay, so we got the Rookie of the Year watch. Chet Holmgren, I know we're just a few games in, but he's closing in on Wemby at plus 220 on FanDuel Sportsbook. That's 5 games, right? All things being equal, they're both standing in front of you. You have to draft one. Is anybody taking Chet over Wemby?
Oh,
Man.
to draft? No.
Yeah, just picking one.
For a game tonight, I'm taking Chet. For the future,
For a game tonight, why tonight?
I think he's more poised. I think right now he's more NBA ready. I think he can. When you watch him play, he does it all, man. He plays so under control. He plays well beyond his years. He can shoot the basketball. He can pick and pop. I will say, as well as Wemby, I hate when you look at their starting lineup. Dort, Alexander, Giddey, Williams, and Chet. He's going to bang with these big, strong 5 men all year long, these centers. That's going to take a toll on his body. I don't love that. And then when you look at their backup, who's their backup center? I don't even know. They need a little bit more size to protect this guy because that's going to take a toll on him throughout the year. Other than that, I love how they're using him. I love how he's playing. I love how he's efficient. So
I think he's playing great. They're bringing him along well, and he has a lot of great pieces that he can play around. I don't pick him over Wemby because Wemby is the best player on his basketball team, and they expect him to carry them to a lot of wins this season. So I still like Wemby for Rookie of the Year, even though I picked Scoot so
did.
far.
Are you gonna switch it up?
Switching it?
I'm gonna stay down because that was my pick, but
Fair.
Wemby is obviously the leader for Rookie of the Year for me.
He's special.
He is special.
Yeah, don't piss me off, Chandler. Coming up, John Wall joins. Oh, there he is. Joins the running back. We'll talk to him in a bit.
Who is in the background?
Why
is in
are
the
you standing
background?
like that? Look, get him.
Ain't no fatigue, no, we never sleep, yo, we in the gym.
Behind the back, John Wall with some nasty stuff.
You know the man, you know the man.
I love it. All right, joining us now. He spent 11 years in the NBA, 9 of those in the nation's capital. 5-time All-Star, a 1-time All-NBA. John Wall joining us from the University of Miami. Is that where you are right now? What's going on down there?
Yeah, this is where I work out every day, University of Miami. So, yeah, I'm here in the background. I just finished a workout.
I like that. That's like
Hey,
yeah.
great optics, my boy. I love that.
Great
Yes,
optics.
sir.
Well, we want to pick your brain all things that are happening in the league right now. The big story, I guess, that came out of the weekend was the James Harden going to the Clippers, just like he had predicted. You played with Kawhi and PG last season. Tell us how you think this is all going to fit together.
For me, I don't know. You don't know. Like on paper, it looks great, but you have to go out there and play and compete, and then they try to get their chemistry and camaraderie together. For me, it seemed like both sides got what they wanted, and they just got to see how it works out for everybody.
So the big thing Lou has been saying it from the beginning. He's like, you do not bench Russ. You just try to do this all together. Everybody starts. Is that what you would do, or would you decide you got to bench one of them?
I think you just got to keep Russ in the starting lineup also. He's been playing well. He found his mojo back. A lot of people have written him off. You can see he's back happy and playing basketball the way that we know Russ has been playing it most of his whole career. And I think he gives them great leadership, and his competitiveness, you can tell it leads on to all the other guys.
That was my whole thing, John. For the last couple seasons, it looked like Russ has been trying to find his footing. He's been trying to find somewhere he can call home and get into a groove where he can play at a high level. Now he's playing at a high level. Why disrupt that?
Yeah, for sure. I see you watched last night. He played at a high level. He was making open shots for him and trying to run their team. And I think it's been great for him to see a smile back on his face.
First of all, Jimmy.
John,
No, there's Shams.
Oh, there you are, Shams. My bad.
John, you played for the Clippers last year. You're a free agent now. What's your mindset? What do you think about your NBA future, and how bad are you trying to get back in the league?
Well, I still love the game. I still love the grind and getting up every day, doing core workouts, doing conditioning, weightlifting. I like to go for a nice bike ride throughout the city of Miami like I used to back in D.C. And I believe I still got a lot left in the tank. I just being patient and working out and staying ready. And I know how much I want to still play. I know how much my agent, Rich Paul, is pushing to try to get something to happen. And you just got to stay ready. I'm not giving up on myself. And I feel like I can help a team win.
Yeah, first of all, John, I miss you. When you come to LA, you got to call me because we got to get up.
For sure.
We got to get up.
Yeah, we got to
get up.
And I hate that you're not in the league right now because there's definitely teams that can use you. You look across the board, there's backup point guards that I still think you can play at a higher level. But if there was one team right now, they called and said, come play for us, would you say hell no? Or are you pretty much open?
No, I want a job, so I'm open for any job that come my way, to be honest. I feel like, because I just feel like in the past, like I made mistakes of saying certain things and then doing stuff off the court that kind of put a character out there. How people think they look at John Wall, that's not me, but I can accept my mistakes and my ability that I've done in the past. And for me, I'm past that. I'm a father of 2 boys and a stepdaughter, so I look at being a father as much as I can and loving the game. So I know how much I love the game, how much I can impact the game of either playing or just being a vet and being a leader to the young guys, because I think our league needs that. A lot of young guys need a lot of vets on their team to kind of mentor them and tell them the things we went through and what the league is all about.
So we've seen, guys have always sort of wanted to play for certain teams, or, hey, I want to switch it up, I want to do something else. But lately it's become so public and loud. You got Dame Lillard, Harden, Kyrie, all that good stuff. When you're watching this, outside looking in, what is your take on the way things are being done these days?
Hey, man, whatever makes these people happy, that I'm all for. For me, like when I first came in, I always said I wanted to play for one team for my whole career. And that's something I prided myself off of, giving DC everything I had. And then, I ended up getting traded to Houston, played there for 2 years, and then got bought out, and then I ended up being with the Clippers. So I think just forever, whatever you feel like is best for you in your career, cool. I know everybody wants to compete at a high level and try to be loyal as much as possible.
John, like you said, you spent so much time in Washington through the ups and the downs, the adversity, even when it got rocky at the end. Have you ever been a guy to ask for a trade?
Nah, like me, I wanted to stick it out, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like DC was me. Like, I was all of DC. You know, Luke battling against you for years there in the playoffs. I just felt like what I brought to the city and what I brought to the fan base and just everything I gave on the court, just playing through injuries and all that, I never wanted to be outside of that jersey. But, you know, things happen, and you move past that and you look for whatever's next for you in the future.
You mentioned the traded by the Wizards for Russ. Is it true? Like, how did you find out you were getting traded? Is it true that it was a DM sent by Russ?
Nah, me and Russ just talked. We was cool, you know what I mean? Then we had a conversation after that, and then I talked to the front office people.
That's so, because I'm always fascinated by how you guys find out, like, oh, you are moving now and you're going to another place. Like, if you would have stayed in D.C., do you think about what could have been, what would have been?
For sure. Like, I never wanted to leave, you know what I mean? But things happen. But like, when I knew I was getting traded, Tommy Shepard had gave me a text message and said, please call that night when I was watching games. And then we talked on the phone, and he told me what happened, and he moved forward from there.
John, your guy Brad was traded to the Suns over the summer. He hasn't made his debut yet, but what do you think he brings to the Suns? How good do you think he can be for that group?
We got 3 guys that can get 30 or 40 any given night. You know what I mean? So I think just with them, it's about just getting on the court. You know, most importantly throughout the whole league is staying healthy. We all know that. And just seeing how they gel together. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen a little snippet of like 1 or 2 games, I think, in preseason. But that's why you have a long NBA season to try to get where you can find out where you're going to fit in on the West. But you don't want to miss too many games and get out of the wrong positioning spot because the West is a deep conference this year.
Would you be interested in a reunion with Brad? Obviously, that's a team in Phoenix that only has one, standard point guard on the roster. They're playing with Brad at different points once he's back as a starting point guard. But would you be interested in a reunion?
For sure, yeah. Like, for sure. That's what I was hoping for in D.C. It went different ways. But me and Brad are still brothers. We still talk a lot. You know, a lot of people always want to make us like we're not cool with each other. That's the reason why things happen. But we still have conversations. We still talk a lot. And I congratulate him on moving there and hope the best for him. And hopefully he can finally win him a championship. But, yeah, I would definitely, if I could join their team, for sure, I would love that.
Honestly, that Phoenix situation to me makes the most sense. I think you'd be perfect. They literally have one true point guard on that team, and the way you play, I think it'd be a perfect fit. But moving on to DeMarcus Cousins, we had him on the show. We know he's one of a kind. You play with him at Kentucky. I think you live with him. How was that experience? What was that like? Any funny stories? And how was it like living with Boogie?
Oh, man, a lot of funny stories. I met Boogie at 13 at Nationals. We met at Nationals, and we became cool since then. And every time we went to camps and stuff, we said we was going to play in college together. He was my roommate, so, he liked slow jams. And at night, he got to listen to slow jams to go to sleep. I like to watch sports, and I'm like, bro, I'm not listening to slow jams with a 7-foot guy.
Breaking news, Boogie Cousins likes to wind down to some slow jams before he goes to R&B. It's a wonderful visual.
He's an R&B guy. He's a big teddy bear. He on the court, he try to act like he's not, but he's a big teddy bear off the court, man. He loves slow jam.
Like, stop playing your slow jams, Parson. I kind of love the visual of that. Okay, so you're from Raleigh, and then you chose Kentucky, and you had told the story about going to North Carolina, and then Tyler Hansbrough, and it was a whole thing where he just basically ignored you. He now, earlier this week, has said, doesn't remember anything like that happening, doesn't remember you coming to campus. What is the story here? What went down?
It was an unofficial visit, so it wasn't official. So, back then it wasn't social media and all that, and I didn't take an official visit. I'm right up the street 30 minutes away, so I went up there, watched him practice, and went to a football game and stuff like that. But, let him say what he got to say.
And you gotta know Psycho T. You gotta know him. He lives his own style. Let me ask you this, John. Former Kentucky player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's getting a lot of love, a lot of MVP talk right now. Can Shai go down as one of the best players to come out of Kentucky, if not the best? What's your opinion?
For sure, 1,000%. Like, I knew Shai was good, but I feel like Shai's got a lot better. And he's more quicker than I thought. Like, in college, he didn't look like that explosive and that quickness, but he's definitely got better. And, like, if you're not double-teaming him, you're in for a long night. I can tell you that. And I feel like they got a great young core around them, all the pieces they're adding. And I kind of heard y'all saying, like, I feel like they can move Check to the 4 and give him a 5-man, kind of like the Spurs are doing with Wemby. I think they'll definitely be a dangerous team because I like Giddey, I like Dort, I like Jaden Williams. I like their team a lot. And he's must-see TV. I mean, you got to watch him, bro. He's very gifted, talented. And he's shooting 50%, getting like 30 a game, and it's not all layups. It's mid-range, step backs, threes, whatever you need.
I got him as my MVP pick this year.
Hey, you're not wrong. You can't be a sleeper. That's not a sleeper no more. You know what I mean? Like last year, you felt like, you don't watch film on a guy too much. They know about Shea. They know that team is coming. And if they can be like a top 5, top 4 team in the West, he can mess around and win it.
I'm going to go rogue here, John.
Oh, dear. No.
I want to go rogue here. I want to, this isn't the question I'm supposed to ask. I want to know, in your opinion, who are the best 5 Kentucky Wildcats?
Oh.
What's your starting lineup?
Oh, yeah. On the spot.
Man, that's a good one. You know
Position
why?
by position.
Yeah, because I feel like the NBA, all NBA should go by position like they used to. I mean, I think they should use best players. I feel like they should go best players like they used to. For me, I'm going me at the point. I'm going Jamal in my...
isn't going to be the best Kentucky. Okay.
SGA's out already?
He's out.
No.
Pick
Listen.
I'm putting him at the 2?
No. But SGA at my 2.
All right.
D-Book at my 3.
It's a good
AD at my 4. And Boogie at my 5.
Boogie at 5.
That's pretty good.
That's a nasty 5.
See, like,
right
to
there.
me, I'm going to tell you why it's tough to say, because now De'Aaron Fox at the level he's at now.
True.
See, people forget about De'Aaron Fox. Like, he's at the level he's at now, so it's like, he could be a front runner for MVP. They can be one of those top teams in, like, what he's been doing to teams. So, I mean, he's one of those guys I almost put on my list, but I can't take myself off.
Yeah, that's exactly. Cannot take yourself off your own list. Okay, AD mentioned he gets a lot of hate. Like, it's even though he's done quite well in the game so far this season, but he's one of those guys that it's a love-hate thing and there's nothing in between. Why do you think that is?
I think AD's, you want to say gifted, bro. He has everything you need as a big man to block shots, rebound, defend, can shoot, dribble, pass. I just think, at times, sometimes they say he goes missing, and that's what a lot of people credit him off of. Like, he have a good game, then he goes missing, then he have another good game, then he have a stretch, or then he might get injured. But, injuries are part of the game, and sometimes the game plan changes, so he has to fit in where he can. I just feel like when he's more aggressive, the Lakers are a lot better when he's super aggressive.
John, serious question. The John Wall dance, does that come out to play ever?
Man, I don't know. I ain't did that in so long, but it'd be funny to see people do it, man. That was so long ago. I was a kid, like no social media, just having fun, happy to be in college and be on the biggest stage. That, kids from Lou know what I'm talking about. Not think you have an opportunity to be on that level. I remember watching Lou when he was on MTV Cribs back in the day, when he was at South Gwinnett. So I know how special he was, and we built a bond of being brothers. So, no, I never thought it would get to that level. It was just something, you being a kid and having fun. But I think when I dug you my first game, it was against Lou, and then we played Philly.
It's part of you, brother. You are synonymous with the Dougie. That is your dance.
Because Bronny just did it the other day for their Midnight Madness, and it was like, who won the competition? I was like, Bronny didn't know what he was doing.
No. John, thank you so much. I know you can get back to your workout. We appreciate the time very much.
Good luck, bro.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro.
My boy.
Yes, indeed.
All right, John Wall, and coming up, that man has a family when Run It Back returns.
The run it back, run it up, the run it back, run it up, run it back.
Oh dear, that man does have a family. Here we go, SGA.
The 2 feet is more offensive, I feel
The
like.
power up.
Yeah.
Oh my.
The 2 feet, 2 hand basically says, I don't see you. I have no fear that you're going to block
He
the
didn't.
shot.
He never saw Joe Harris.
That's really what it looks
Also,
like.
why is a 6'4" shooting guard Caucasian trying to block a shot?
Caucasian.
Hey, verticality,
What's wrong
man.
with you?
He tripping. Verticality.
It was a Caucasian.
He was trying to go vert and literally barely
his
touched the
job.
net. Look how high he gets.
You know what? He's trying.
Yeah, he
Look at this.
tried to be positive on film and it didn't go his way.
Holy smokes.
It always sounds like you're doing a Law and Order. Describe him. D'Lo on Paolo.
Hey, now that's
I never saw that one either.
that's impressive.
I like this. Oh, he tried to block it with
Tried
2
to-
hands,
yeah.
2 coming weak side.
I mean,
D'Lo's been going. D'Lo has been absolutely
Keep
going.
rolling, D'Lo.
I'm happy to be
Keep
a
rolling.
Laker. I like that. Let's see Giannis.
Hey.
Oh dear, that's not right.
So he gets the assist right here from Tyler Hero 3. Oh, that's Jokic.
You know, I gotta address the elephant in the room, man. There's a lot of white guys on here.
The word is Caucasian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it right. though.
Okay. The Caucasian hoopers.
We're a rare breed.
Shut up.
We're a rare breed.
Just stop talking.
Bing.
There's like 7 of us.
There's more than 7.
No, Europeans don't count.
That's a Jokic.
Yes, they do.
I'm talking homegrown American.
Okay, so American Caucasians is different than European.
Hold on, I missed it. Is he related to the Joker?
No, it's the switch it.
It's like Joe Vitch.
Yeah, Joe Vitch.
Oh, Joe Vitch. Okay.
It's very confusing, and if you just got to the planet, no chance you're gonna know. Thompson.
Come here, Brandon.
Ron Miller. Ooh, rookies.
Hey, I always like
Rookie
the
on
one to
rookie.
catch it with one hand lob, like LeBron's last night. I really like that. I enjoy those.
It just looks so perfectly choreographed when it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, well done.
They say the best alley-oops are the worst passes.
Oh,
For sure, because
yeah.
you got to go
I don't
get
know who
it.
said that. But
That's
somebody
what
said it.
a wise
Yeah,
man
you
wants.
gotta go get
Because,
it.
yeah,
Makes
someone's
for a
got to
better
go get
highlight.
it.
God, you're on a roll today with
It's
stupidity, Chandler.
Sprint the court, Brandon. You won't get dunked on. Get back. Young fella.
Ooh, Austin Reeves having a moment here.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
See,
no,
when
no,
I
no,
first
no.
saw this,
Eh,
I was
Nah,
like,
that's a clean
damn.
hit.
He tripped. Look,
Wait, you think he
I'm sorry.
tripped?
No, I saw a slow-mo. I think, from
crossover
the
got him
baseline.
leaning into
Listen,
the-
it was a nasty move, but
Yeah, he got to hit him with a bink. Got caught with another bink.
it's also the worst as a
And then
defender
I
'cause
cash out. How about
it's
that?
like last minute he's trying to down this pick and roll. So he's trying to jump and then trip.
Got to be quicker than that.
But I love this. This is what got Austin
Why must
Reeves.
you take away from Austin Reeves in this moment of time?
I love this is what got him going. He ended up hitting big shots in the fourth after that.
Oh, I
Do
would
we
hate
still
that.
show that if he misses the pull-up?
Chandler
Probably
hates
not.
it. Look,
Well, maybe actually. Lively.
I like this one. This kid's gonna
This
do
is
that.
also Derek.
Oh, my.
This is also Derek Jones, not Derek
I thought that was
Lively.
Derek Jones.
But that's
Yeah.
insane.
All right.
This is what he does. He's been doing this. Look
That's a
at
trampoline.
Oh, my gosh,
Oh my
that's-
goodness.
That's what you call a teabag, Lou.
Yeah, you do. That's weird. Reverse. Can we all say that?
You call it
That's
good
early.
old-fashioned
It's said now, look.
teabag.
I mean, it's
That's
ow.
crazy. He paused in the air.
Yeah, he's got dumb bounce.
Okay, I like that. Might be the. Well, I'm not gonna pick.
Dunk contest. Again.
You're not gonna pick.
I feel like that might be my
See,
favorite one.
this
of
is
the
who
whole.
I want
That's-
him in the dunk contest. I want guys like that can show us stuff that's never been done before.
Okay,
I
but
think
can
we're running out of dunks.
I was gonna say, like, that's gonna happen. Now we're gonna get closer to All-Star Weekend. You're gonna have guys like that entering and be like, I'm not excited about this.
I think guys are getting so athletic. Someone's gonna like go between the legs twice. Someone's gonna do some crazy shit some crazy stuff that we've never
Your
seen
mom's
before.
watching,
Yeah,
Chandler.
sorry.
What
I
is
felt like
wrong
that,
with
and
you?
then Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine.
That was the
year,
best one.
That was
That's the best
another one.
The
But,
best in recent memory,
yeah.
anyways. Like when I was a kid, I remember.
Well, honestly, the
seeing-
Mac McClung one was cool too.
Oh yeah,
like,
that was cool.
But people were mad because he wasn't necessarily. It's like a whole
It's a
technicality.
fair argument.
It's a
He
fair
got, I mean,
argument.
he got called up to do the dunk contest.
and then sent
which
right
is
back
kind of
down.
cool if you think
Not
about
even
it.
allow him to play a game after that.
Well, remember
Sure.
they signed him to like a.
It's like on a
nothing,
10-day.
And then it's very
But he
cheating
won
the
it.
system.
And
They
All-Star
made more
Weekend
money.
was
He
three
made
of
more
them.
money that weekend than they did all season.
All-Star
last
Weekend
year.
was 3 of them.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but they definitely need to fix it somehow. All right, so we've been talking rookies, and it's been basically all Chet, all Wemby, and that's fine. But you saw a little Brandon Miller, although he was on the bad end of that one. The number 2 pick, double figures all 4 games. What do we like about him?
You know what's crazy? Looking at his stats and the way he played in college, he's efficient. He's shooting a crazy high percentage from the field, from the 3, and I think he's like 90% from the free throw line. He's in a small market. We're not going to talk about him often. His team is pretty bad. But he's doing his thing, and he's versatile. He's got similar games to Paul George, where he's so creative off the dribble. He's long. He's athletic. I love what he's doing. I love how efficient. A lot of young guys on bad teams just jack up bad shots and average 20, but they shoot 36% from the field. He's not doing that. He's going at a high clip.
I love the Paul George comparison, but I like him to T-Mac.
Oh, I love
think he has a lot of T-Mac in his game. Watching him in college at Alabama, it felt like the bigger the game, the bigger the stage, the better he played. I think with him having more and more time on the floor, he gets better and better.
Lou, you picked Scoot Henderson. He was the number 3 pick, of course. He left the game last night with an ankle injury, but he's a rookie that walked into a situation where he's going to be the face of a franchise. Realistically, what should we expect?
I think they built a team for them to be patient with his growth. He has a lot of time to get it together. The first game that I saw him, he struggled. I think he had a little nerves. He's off to a slow start, considering what everybody expects from him. But just steady climbs. Don't overwhelm yourself with the expectations and just try to get better every day.
And that's tough to get the keys at this
right?
age to a franchise and expect just to be great right away. No, he's going to struggle. He's going to have some off nights, but we've already seen flashes of how good this kid can be. So he's like a perfect example. Just give him some time. It's gonna keep going up and up. They're going to add pieces around him, but it's tough for the kid of his age to kind of immediately have this unbelievable start.
Very rare to be able
And he's
to.
the focal point on a scouting report. They're blitzing him, pick and rolls. They're doubling. Like he's getting all the attention.
He's walking right into a hornet's nest. The Rockets' number 4 pick, Amen Thompson, averaging 6 points in 17 minutes off the bench. He left as well early with an ankle injury. And it's a very young team, this Houston Rockets squad. So what do you expect?
I mean, it's an AAU team, right? And this is a tough situation.
I'm sorry. You just,
Chandler's
what is
crazy,
wrong
dog.
with you?
It's a tough situation for this guy.
Can't say that.
Outside-
They got Fred Van
I'm just saying, outside of
Vliet.
Fred, it's not like there's all this.
Dylan Brooks.
There's not this leadership, right? And most of the players on this team, the Jalen Greens, the Jabari Smith, Dylan Brooks, those are go-get bucket guys. They're not making the game easier for this kid. So it's a tough situation, but I do think he'll get more comfortable. I think he'll get better as the season goes on. Hopefully he's not too banged up with the injury, but he's got a bright future. It's just that's a tough situation to thrive in early.
Do you want to apologize?
No, I'm an AAU team. I mean, they're so young.
Stand up. It's cool.
They're so young. They just go out there, they hoop. It feels like there's no structure, there's no leadership outside of Fred. Like it's just a
Dylan Brooks?
Exactly.
All right, I'm okay, fine. It's fine. Alstar Thompson, his brother, the number 5 pick. I just love that worked out that way. Not playing like the lesser hyped at all. He's averaging 10 points, almost 10 rebounds. To have a guy like this that does everything, how key is that? How important?
Glue guys. Glue guys,
Love
they keep everything together. He's at such a young position in his career. He's found so many different ways to impact the game. He's not worried about scoring the basketball. He's out there playing hard as he can, just giving himself an opportunity to be impactful, playing well.
Yeah, and this team I feel like has made a little bit of a leap where they're playing hard, they're playing well. They're expected to win more games than Houston, and Cade Cunningham's been great. We know our dog of the week last week, Jalen Duren. He's been great. So they have pieces moving forward, and this kid's just kind of plugged right into that starting lineup where he's been great. And like Lou said, he does a little bit of everything. He's bouncy at the back-to-back lobs the other night in transition. He's fun to watch. Both of them are fun to watch.
It's kind of crazy to get drafted 1 pick behind and then have
That's so cool.
seemingly better situation, at least right now. We're going to take a quick break right now. When we come back, we wrap things up the only way we really know how. Prop party.
Run it up, then run it back, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up.
We got games, we got picks. Chandler, you're up.
Here we go. I got the big fella Joel Embiid going over 29.5 points tonight.
Ooh.
And I love the Pistons. I'm riding the Pistons. But most importantly, I want to give a shout out to my guy, Dan Frank, and his girl Dillard. They had a beautiful baby girl named Rosie Dillard Frank. So congrats, guys. Love you, miss you.
Mazel. Lou?
I like the Pistons over the Pelicans tonight, and I'm gonna leave you guys flabbergasted.
Oh, wow.
But I like the Spurs over the Suns.
Ah, wow.
Let's do it.
And it's Jinx. But wow, I'm actually impressed, and I
That's
kind of
good.
love that for you. I have Tyrese Maxey over 25, continue to thrive. And Paolo Banchero, I'm going to try again, this time a little bit lower. Over 15. I think 15's better.
I think if he's got to be ambidextrous tonight. He's got to use his left, he's got to use his right.
Is that your word? I'm done with you. I'm done with both of you. I
He's
hate you.
got to be able to finish with both hands tonight to get that over. So
Do you guys
look for that.
Are you putting money on this at least? Oh, that's going to do it for us on our Thursday/Friday. We will be back Monday bright and early. Everybody enjoy your weekends. Be safe. And wee, I didn't have a word.
Run it up, then run it back, run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back, run it